what you used to, right? This is what you used to. This is what you used to, right? This is what you used to. This is what you used to. This is what you used to, right? This is what you used to. This is what you used to, right? This is what you used to. This is what you used to.
What has happened to the show?
But he pop up with this. He pop up.
All right, good evening and welcome to the Brown Paper Bag. God dang it, I'm up already. This is terrible. Hold on. Let's start this over again. What up, everybody? Happy Monday and welcome back to the BPB podcast. It's your boy Saul G coming at you live again on a Monday night. My co-host Corey, he'll be here shortly. You know how Atlanta traffic is, so he working through it right now. But appreciate everybody checking us out on Facebook, on LibreTV.co, on Twitter, on the YT platform, any major platform, we over there. So just make sure you look up Libre TV if you want to follow us. So make sure you go over to any major platform, type in either Libre TV or the BPV podcast, and we'll come up. But once again, man, I want to welcome everybody for spending your Monday evenings with me. Like I said, my boy Gfraz, he'll be here shortly, hopefully. But you know, I'm glad to be back, man. You know, we got a full week lined up for you, so I'm just going to get our promotion stuff out of the way to begin with tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing I know I ain't done it in a while, but I'm gonna be doing a critical inception tomorrow. It's called the correlation between energy and power. So I'll be talking about that. But it's going to be a critical inception light because, you know, now that we back on that YT platform, I got to kind of tone it back a little bit. So it ain't going to be the 100% raw, uncut that you got on critical inception before. If, you know, you saw us on Libre TV before, like when I did the Uncle Hotep interview, I did an interview with my dog Marcus from Aquarian Anarchy. So you're not going to get that 100% just go straight for the jugular unhinged conversation, but you're gonna get a good conversation still. So, but I'm gonna lighten it down a little bit. So tomorrow we're gonna be talking about energy and power and how those things correlate into what we got going on. Wednesday, it's gonna be purple pill politics. So you know we're gonna be talking all about everything going on over there in Afghanistan. Basic independent political show Thursday. Finally, I done changed the date like 2 or 3 times, but Thursday I'll be talking about kind of sort of like what it takes to date a man that's worth a lot of money and some of the sacrifices that you'll probably have to make if that's the type of man that you want. I'll talk about that on Thursday's show, which is going to be Pollywood. Friday, shout out to Aquarian Anarchy. They'll be up Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then Friday, I got my girl Nikki, who does the Free to Care podcast. She'll be broadcasting live Friday at 7 p.m. And then Kamikage show this Saturday, 7 p.m. I'm gonna do I haven't done my review of the Suicide Squad yet. If you haven't, I did this thing called Kamikage Court. I thought it was pretty cool. You can check that out on any major platform, Libre TV, YouTube, wherever. But I'm gonna be talking about the What If series. So if you saw the first episode, I'm gonna be talking about that, and hopefully they do a lot better with the second episode. Then I'm gonna be talking about the Suicide Squad because that was a big thing. I'm gonna wait for Corey to get here, but it is hot in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip of my drink. But you know, if you're watching the BPB podcast, you gotta have your brown paper bag ready. And mine is a little jacked up right now, but it's all good. So tonight, man, I'm sipping on it's called the 4 in the bottle. It's I don't really know what those 4 are. I'm assuming it's something good, but it's supposed to help with like it's gonna sound weird, but like cramps and not like female, not like female cramps, but like cramps and stuff. You working out, you running, you dehydrated, stuff like that. Apparently, it's supposed to be real good for that, so we're gonna try it out. So if I don't cramp up during the show, even though this isn't a highly physical show, I should be all right. But we're gonna see how that goes. But welcome everybody back. Man, I want to do something that I haven't done in a long time, and I want to show. Oh my God, my boy just checked in. He said, shaking my head, I'm just now to the downtown connector. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna pray that he hopefully can get through that traffic or whatever the case may be. But I'm about to bring back I like to call it oldie but a goodie, as I kind of give my boy a little extra time to come back, man. But we got a couple of sponsors, man. We are now a fully sponsored show. So I'm going to go ahead and get our sponsors out of the way real quick, then I'm going to hop right into the show. So the first sponsor I would like to talk about tonight is the good people over at goodmoneypicks.com, which is, wait a minute. Okay, for some reason, I don't know what happened to that to that one, but I'll go ahead and go to my boys if you haven't seen this one yet. So check this out. All right, cool. So itfitsyou.com. You can check that out. I believe you can put in the code word corrected to get a discount on that. And I think this is it. This is the good people over at goodmoneypicks.com.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex on.
All right, cool. So that gets all the sponsors out the way. Corey just wanted me to let y'all know, I guess the downtown connector, if you've never been to Atlanta, is basically like where a lot of you got the downtown connector is basically where a lot of different major highways intersect. So it's gonna be jacked up. So I don't know if he's gonna make it here for the show, but man, just pray that he get there safely or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna go ahead and get right up into it. This weekend, we had our first week of the preseason. My former team, the Atlanta Falcons, got beat by the Tennessee Titans, 23-3. And I know a lot of people say preseason doesn't matter. You can comment down, man. If you're in the chat, man, go ahead and type in who your team is or whatnot. I know people say preseason don't matter, but I'm like, I still want my team to look good. I don't care what nobody says. If you out there on the field, you want your team to at least look decent. They don't have to win every game, but at least look like they want to be there. And the Falcons definitely didn't do that. My dog Corey said, my apologies, Atlanta drivers can't drive in the rain. That is definitely very true. Anytime you get some clouds in Atlanta, there's people just start wrecking for no reason. So yeah, shout out to Corey, man. I know you're on the way, dog. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold it down. Not a lot going on, man. Not a lot going on really in sports. Not a lot really going on in kind of sort of the music entertainment scene. It's been kind of boring. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, man. This year, we had a couple of things happen, whatever the case may be. And on this show, we don't really get into anything political. We don't try to, like I'm not gonna talk about the panini or anything like that. I'm just saying, we all know that's going on and everything else, but we discuss those type of things on the Wednesday show. But if you looked at tonight's show, what we talking about tonight is it's called What is Fair When Things Don't Go Right? Okay. What is fair when things don't go right? Somebody will say, well, what does that mean? Well, I think the person that kind of brought this to the forefront was, let me get this young lady's picture right here up on the screen. This young lady right here kind of sort of caused a I don't like that to like a firestorm. That's corny to me. It wasn't that serious, but this young lady, her name is Brittany Renner, and if you don't know, she is here's another picture of her right here. So, very attractive woman. Um, she was dating a basketball player named PJ Washington. And if you haven't heard the story yet, 2 weeks after the baby was born, she filed for a divorce. So I think that brings up a very interesting conversation. And she was awarded, I believe, $200,000 a month in either spousal or child support. And PJ Washington, he's in the NBA, but he hasn't been in the NBA that long. He's not even like he's a decent player, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like he's not like on the LeBrons or like an all-star level. So I don't even think he's getting money like that. You know what I mean? He's getting NBA money, but he's not really like a lot of, he's not like getting, because I think he's still on the NBA rookie contract. So let's just check this out. This is according to sportsjohn.com. It says PJ Washington signed a 4-year, $12 million contract with the Charlotte Hornets, where $12 million is guaranteed, and he has an annual average salary of $3 million, basically. So if he was awarded to pay her 200 grand, how does that even work? 200 grand a month. That can't, I don't know what that had to be, right? Let me double check that, because that might have been a year. Because if that's monthly, that can't, that just seems, okay, if he's only making $3 million, okay, so he said that he denies that $200,000 child support rumor. So maybe it's just maybe it's not all the way true, but I know a lot of people have been talking about it. But even if it's not true, okay, let's talk about this young lady for a second. And it's no disrespect to her. All right, he has an attractive, shout out to Tiffany over there on Twitter. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. She's getting 2.4 mil out of his 3. That don't sound right. So I think this might have got blown out of proportion, and I think somebody might. I don't think that we getting all the information yet, but the fact that she filed for divorce 2 weeks after the baby was born was suspect to me. But let's keep going. Let's break this down. The bottom line is, where the conversation needs to be had on this subject is, I'm going to go to the ladies first. Ladies, you're married. You're with your husband, right? If you decide to leave your marriage, what do you believe you are owed? That's my question, right? Because the way I look at things is like this. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, and let's say, like, for example, we just in a relationship, right? And maybe I'm paying your cell phone bill. Maybe I'm paying half your rent. Who knows? I might not be paying anything, but let's just say I'm paying a couple of your bills for you. Maybe your car note, cell phone bill. While we're in a relationship, we don't have no kids. If we break up, you shouldn't still expect me to pay that car note and that cell phone bill, because I'm paying it as a benefit of being with me. You understand what I'm saying? There are perks to having a boyfriend. There are perks to having a husband. So you would believe that if I'm with you, then there's a reason why you're with me as well. There are also perks from my side. You understand what I'm saying? I want my sandwich. You know what I mean? I want something nice and soft laying next to me. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a give and take, but it should only be a give and take, in my opinion, when you're involved. So let's upgrade it now. Let's upgrade it to both of the people involved are married. Okay? When both of the people are involved that are married, now I'm going to ask you 2 questions. What did you come into the relationship with? What did he come into the relationship with? Okay? I do believe in things that I call combined assets, right? Because what I feel a combined asset is, in my opinion, this ain't no legal definition. This is just my opinion of what I believe a combined asset is. A combined asset says you had your own apartment, I had my own apartment, we got married, you put your name on the mortgage, I put my name on the mortgage, we paying that together. That's a combined asset. I go for a car loan, you go for a car loan, we co-sign on it. That is a combined asset. What I had in the bank account before I met you and what you had in the bank account before you met me, I don't consider that a combined asset unless y'all close both your bank accounts and then you combine them. Otherwise, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because that's what I look at being a combined asset. Once again, not the legal definition. But I think we need to come to some sort of realization, because I don't believe in this, you got accustomed to a certain lifestyle, right? Because let's examine that for a second. No disrespect to this young lady, but I believe she was something like, I guess they got her listed as an IG model. So you can take that for whatever that means. I don't know what her net worth was before she met PJ, but my thing is, if he upgraded your life, my question is, as a woman, why would you feel entitled to maintain that lifestyle if you're not going to be with the man who gave you the lifestyle in the first place? And I'm talking to the women right now. I'm going to get to the men because I got both examples, right? Because there are examples of, not even to really get political, but we talk about equality all the time. There are some women who have got the short end of this stick as well. But I'm talking to the women first. If you're not with a man, and I'm talking about you're just with the man. I'm not talking about children yet. Okay, I'm gonna get to children in a second. But I would ask some of the women, if you're watching out there, I would want to know what your opinion is. Why would you as a woman feel that you're entitled to the lifestyle that a man provides without being with the man? That's like me as the man saying I should be entitled to some benefits from you and you're not with me. Does that mean I should be able to go to any of my exes right now and say, hey, we used to be together and I was used to getting that. You know what I mean? I was used to being in the same bed with you for a while, so I enjoyed that. So can I get that back because I got accustomed to that lifestyle? I got accustomed to the certain things you do. I got accustomed to your cooking, how you treated me. I got accustomed to all of that. Can I just run back and say, okay, and it's still there? I would think not. So I would ask the ladies, I don't understand why is it this kind of sort of this correlation that if you're just married to a guy, no kids involved, you get upgraded. You was living in an apartment, boom. Now you in a mansion. I don't keep up with expensive bags because I don't buy them. You know what I mean? Whatever the ladies want, or whatever somebody rapping about. I don't know if Birkins is still a thing, but all the bags and the jewelry and the cars and the trips and the clothing, you get upgraded. And then you decide you don't want to be with the person that caused the upgrade. I say, well, that's the point where, you know what I mean? You might be able to entitle, it's kind of like a job. You might be entitled to a little bit of a severance package, right? But I think you don't deserve like full-time benefits. And I think that's a lot of times what some of these women are coming out with. Shout out Tiffany again. She said she went in prepared to leave though. I'm gonna get to that. But I just want to set up the basic discussion right now and say, if you're a woman and you're just married to a guy, and let's say, y'all are both teachers for the sake of this argument. You make $50,000, he make $50,000, and things don't work out. You don't have any children. If you leave that man, my question is, would you expect for him to give you spousal support? I would hopefully, a woman worth decent salt would say no, because y'all are basically on the same level. So that's the first thing. Now let's get into what Tiffany was talking about. It appears like she trapped him. Okay. She married him. She had the baby. And then boom, she was out. She was like, okay, we don't know why they necessarily got divorced. All we know is she divorced him very, very quickly after she had the baby. I believe they say 2 weeks. Once again, trying to confirm the $200K. I think these might have just been rumors, but we know for a fact that she did divorce him shortly after giving birth. So with that being said, it's like, how do I feel about a man who basically got played by this woman, if that's how you want to look at it? I'm going to give you my first side of it. Number one, I don't have no idea what was going on in their relationship. if she was preparing to leave him, or if the goal was to marry him, have his kid, and then get out. I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if she's admitted to that. I don't know. I'm not as deep into the story. I'm just looking at it as a source of conversation. The second thing I will say is I don't know how PJ was treating her. I don't know anything that was going into their relationship. I don't know, was he treating her good? Was he bad? Was he cheating? He's in the NBA, so you want to assume yes. But, some men will be like, if you had a woman that fine, why would you cheat? And I'm like, because men. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But I just feel like because I'm not involved in these people, I don't know these people, all I can do is speculate. So it looks bad from the woman's perspective. It looks bad from the male's perspective, right? So shout out to the missus. I don't know why she's sending me this raised eyebrow right now, but because she ain't going nowhere, because she already know she tried to leave. She ain't getting nothing. I'm just I mean, I apologize. Y'all need to. I don't like to get political on the show, but I'm gonna have to get slightly political tonight. If you live in the state of Pennsylvania, y'all need to change this no idling laws. And what no idling means is I gotta sit in my truck, in Iron Man's basement, and it's hot in here. But because of a law that they got to, I guess, protect the environment, I can't run my air conditioning, so it's a little hot in here. So if I'm sweating a little bit, I apologize, but it's hot in here tonight because I'm in Pennsylvania. And they won't let me run my truck and keep my AC on. But that's a whole nother topic. Jonesy, no, I don't. I don't always get political, sir. This is a rare occasion. So I just wanted to put that part out there real quick too. This I know I said it's called the 4 in the bottle, but it tastes like I'm drinking straight up like ocean water. I don't like ocean. It seemed like like you was doing a shot on the beach and they gave you a lime. And then somebody handed you some salt water, and that's what it tastes like. It tastes like salt water with a hint of lime, but I'm going to just keep myself hydrated, so give me a second. Shout out to my boy Jonesy, man. That's my dog for real, man. But no. I think that there are multiple ways just to view the situation to begin with, but I think number one, if you go into a marriage, you should go into a marriage okay, I guess that's a family. So, thank you. Dear, you want to try to use some words tonight instead of just emojis, but I guess that white family, I guess that's us. So, thank you. I appreciate you helping me co-host the show tonight. Oh, shout out to nephew checking in, man. I be seeing a lot of people on Twitter, man. I gotta say, I don't like to brag, but I got one of the best nephews on earth, man. All my nephews are great. But my 2 oldest nephews are really good people, man. So shout out to my nephew checking in with his uncle tonight, man. I just feel like there has to be some sort of agreement because when you enter into a marriage, the purpose of a marriage is what? You're supposed to be together forever. That's the goal. So if you come into it with false intentions, it's like, what's the point, right? What's the point of going into a marriage if you're entering the marriage with false pretenses? So I don't know necessarily everything that's going on in this situation, but it just don't seem right. And I believe that as long as no children are involved, what you come into the relationship with, you should probably leave a little bit better. But this whole I got to pay you until you marry somebody else is nonsense. And I believe it goes both. So it's men who get upgraded by a woman or a woman who gets upgraded by a man. I don't pick no sides. I think on either side, it's bad. So if you haven't already, man, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that share button so a lot of people can get this information tonight. But now I'm going to flip it, okay? We got a kid now because this is what this situation involved. I'm going to bring up a picture again. All right, so you see her. She got her little baby right there. I mean, if that's 2 weeks out of a baby, I mean, shout out to whoever her personal trainer is. But anyway, now you have a child together. And this is where it gets a little dicey for me because this is something that I believe that I wish the child support system would address, okay? Being a father or being a mother is more than just sending a check. So whether it's coming from either side, being a parent is a lot more than just the financial aspect of it. So even though it kind of go against what I believe in, I believe that when you start talking about how this child support system works, there should be something kind of sort of like probation, right? Like, let's say if people have been on probation and they like, yo, I got to go check in with my PO. Then I believe if you put me on child support, I should also have a somewhat of a probation officer attached as well. And that means that I am physically spending time with my child as well. Because once again, to me, just sending a check is not good enough. It's not good enough, especially if, there are, there are kids involved, right? So, yeah, I view my boy, a marriage is a business agreement. I 100% agree with that. We had that conversation on your podcast. If you haven't, man, go ahead and subscribe to the Waste of Talent podcast over there on YouTube and Spotify, man. My dog Jonesy brings some really, really great content and content over there. And shout out to the whole G and Gfraz crew. My dog Ant, Chad, and Jonesy. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say right now. You can let me know if I miss somebody else, but yeah, shout out to my whole G and Gfraz crew over there. All right, Sandra says good father. I think she's talking about me. Well, I appreciate it. I try to be a good father, so I appreciate you letting the world know that as well. So let's get into it, man. You now bring a child into this world. I think it kind of starts that repetitive cycle that we have gotten to, especially in the Black community. We've gotten so used to, is he on child support? Do you financially support your kid? Not, are you at any games? Are you going to PTA meetings? Are you just spending time with your child? You going to Chuck E. Cheese, teaching them how to do stuff, any of this type of stuff. It's just, as long as you are financially responsible for your children, that is supposed to mean something. That is why I kind of said, I think that there kind of needs to be something along with it, almost even like a checklist. You know what I mean? Like whoever is the parent that's the guardian, or the parent that the custodial parent, they should have like a sheet that they sign off on or something to kind of, just the same way, like I said, somebody on parole would check in with their PO. There should be something to make sure these children are at least spending time with their parent and not just getting the check. Because the other thing is, I also think there needs to be some sort of checks and balances on that side as well. So if I'm sending you $1,000 a month, I want to see where my $1,000 went. And the same way, when you're kind of in the system, like, you should be able to show receipts. Hey, I went out and bought some shoes. I went out and did this. I got some food. I understand food in the house is one thing. It's cool. But at the same time, I should be able to go back and say my $1,000 is going to my child and not just to the mother of my child. So I think there needs to be checks and balances on both sides. The other thing I want to say is I think there needs to be a maximum on child support. And I don't think that child support should be based on the income of the person that you're involved in. And let me explain why. If you want to raise your children, in my opinion, the right way, two parents, right? Two parents, stable household, then you get benefits for doing that. So if you're raising your kids in a stable two-parent household, then once again, there are benefits for that. Man, feel like I'm at church, man. I hope I'll start preaching in a while, man, because I told you, it's hot in here. Pennsylvania changed the laws. So if you are involved with somebody and y'all are raising your kids the way I think it should be, two-parent household, right? Very stable environment, two people maybe working, whatever the case may be, there are benefits to doing that. So if we don't work out and for some reason you still want me to be responsible for this child, then basing how I would take care of my child to be based solely upon my income, to me, it's kind of sort of it should be a maximum. The same way there are maximum for criminal penalties, there should be a maximum on child support, because it shouldn't just basically just go through the roof depending on how much money you make. Because you have to understand, now I believe income should be brought into, like, it should be like tiers, right? You should have like a lower level tier, a middle class tier, and an upper class tier. And let's just say the upper class tier, you can cut the upper class tier off at maybe 20 grand a month. And I think that would be fine, for some of these really, really large places. But I'm like, I don't see how you can charge somebody $200,000 to take care of a child, because let's just break this down, okay? A mortgage on a $500,000 home could run you anywhere, depending on your credit, 25. Let's say it costs $3,000 a month, okay? So you're staying in a $500,000 home, and I'm from Atlanta, so that might not be a lot of house where you live. Yeah, my boy Podways said $3,500. So we're gonna go with the Jersey level, right? Because, excuse me, Jersey's a lot more expensive than Georgia, so we're gonna go with the Jersey level, okay? So $3,500. I'm giving you $2,000 a month to take care of an infant. We're not talking about private school, daycare, any of those things haven't even came into, because the way I'm looking at it is, if I'm paying for daycare, my question is, if my wife, not my wife, but my baby mama is not working, I'm also paying her salary as well. You understand what I'm saying? She's not working. So think about that. So let's deduct the house out, and let's just say your bills for the house, like utilities and all that stuff, $5,000. So after that, you're left with $15,000 left over. Now, I don't know what type of baby clothes, Jordans, Timbs, whatever you want to put your baby in. When I have my babies here pretty soon, we're going to be Oshkosh, Bagash. And, I love my daddy t-shirts. I don't see them, being fresh with polo t-shirts and Timbs. And, well, I don't know. Sandra, she probably going to try to put them in Timbs and Jordan. So if I have to renege on this in about 1.5 years from now, I apologize. But that's just the way I see it, right? But clothes, diapers, formula. Let's just say on the high end, you spend $5,000 a month on your baby. That still leaves you $10,000, and the baby's taken care of, and all of your living expenses are taken care of. The amount of money that goes to child support, spousal support, and all these different things, it's to me, you should never be upgraded for having a child. That's the other part that I want to get out, and I want to make sure I get this point across before I kind of go to some of the more famous stories out there. It should never be an incentive for a woman or a man to have a child because you're trying to upgrade your life. That's not the purpose of having kids. Kids are supposed to be your legacy. Kids are supposed to be, your representation on earth once you're gone. You're supposed to be trying to leave as much wealth, generational wealth, and all these things to your kids as possible. Your kids are like, like they're little bitty parts of you that walk and talk on this earth. And it's like, if your sole purpose for having a kid is because you want to be upgraded, I'm like, this is the reason why the family structure is so jacked up. So I think that we have to be able to understand what's the purpose of having kids. And when you decide to make a baby with somebody, you have to know what you're doing it for, because otherwise it makes zero sense that some women are out here, and we've seen it. It's been going on for the past, I don't know how long, man. I can't think about the first time I heard that term trapped, right? Like an NBA player gets trapped by a woman. Now he's paying $20,000-$30,000 a month for child support. So that woman who wasn't worth anything before she got with him, now she's making six figures just because, she went on and had a baby by a basketball player. That to me is a horrible reason to have a child. So I believe the morals of a lot of these relationships are thrown off. Now, I've been on the women for a while, and now I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna switch it to the men, right? Because there are a couple of instances where men, okay, like here's one right here. If you don't know who that is, that's Mel B. She was one of the former Spice Girls, right? And that was her ex-husband. So when they got divorced, if I'm not mistaken, let me just go ahead and make sure I'm giving y'all the right thing. Let me see. Mel B spousal support. I believe it was $40K. I just want to confirm it. All right. It says, she said, like Mary J. Blige, America Got Talent judge, Mel B has been ordered to pay her ex-husband an extraordinary amount of spousal support, $500K annually in spousal support, right? So as a man, she upgraded you, because obviously if she got to pay you $500,000 in spousal support, then my question is, once again, as a man or just period, what is that money going towards? Are you telling me that because I married up, that even if I don't stay with that woman anymore, I'm still entitled to the bag? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, and this bag is $3,500, which is ridiculous to me as well. But yeah, I found this bag today when I was making my when I was doing all my stuff for the show. But yeah, that bag I put up is $3,500, which is ridiculous as well. But once again, we've seen these different people have to pay. Jill Scott didn't have to pay her husband anything, her ex-husband anything, because he signed a prenup. Now, you know, I feel like if you are in this level, you shouldn't have to. The spousal support stuff never makes sense to me. Especially, I'm sorry, I'm traditional. So especially when a man gets spousal support from a woman, it seems real weird to me, because it's like, you're telling me I can marry a rich woman, and as long as I don't get married again, she got to keep paying me like $500,000. And I believe Jonesy said it earlier, like, that money is not taxed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get $500,000. I'm pretty sure they might come get on the back end, but $500,000, it's like you're getting paid more than the person that's actually out there earning $500,000 a year. You understand what I'm saying? And I believe there are benefits to being married. There are benefits to being in a relationship. There are benefits to being with another person. If you decide you don't want to be with that person anymore, you lose those benefits. Men who's ever been in any relationship outside of the person who they're with right now, as soon as you're not with that person, yeah, sometimes, you know, y'all get a little post, you know, a little post something or whatnot every now and then. But once that person is with somebody else, you don't still receive those same benefits. So my main thing is, you don't, or you shouldn't be able to benefit once you're no longer in a relationship. Let's take a look at the last couple of people that I had up here. This is Wendy Williams, and I believe she might have let's see, Wendy Williams spousal support. Here we go. Her husband right now was seeking it, but it says that this is all we got right here, and this is from ephsc.org. It says Wendy Williams reveals she's paying alimony to her ex-husband. It said their divorce was finalized in 2020 under a specific set of confidential terms, but Williams recently disclosed that she is paying spousal support to her ex-husband. So, once again, this man decided to marry Wendy Williams, and when he left, he decided that, you know, he felt he was entitled to some of her money. Once again, I don't know how this works, and I feel like that should never be. I don't even know how spousal support makes zero sense to me, because you're basically saying, I want the government to enforce my lifestyle that I was used to living, but I don't want to stay with the person who allowed me to have that lifestyle. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, in my opinion. And I got one more right here. This is Mike Epps' ex-wife. Okay. So Mike Epps' ex-wife wants $109,000 monthly. I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't know if you out there in the audience, does Mike Epps even have money like that? I mean, I think he's doing pretty well, but if I'm not mistaken, $109,000 a month, you know, that's like almost what, 1.2, anywhere between 1.2, $1.3 million. That's a lot of money for spousal support, because I don't even think that's I'm not sure if they have any kids or anything like that, but he said that he offered her $26,000. So the fact that he could even offer her $26,000 a month, I guess he is doing pretty well. But you got to be able to think about that, and think about that for a second. $109,000 a month is what somebody felt they were entitled to. Now, that goes back to that. What did you bring into the marriage? What did the other person? If you're only bringing your beauty into the marriage, or a guy, you're only bringing, you know, what you bring in the bedroom, your protection, whatever, but you're not bringing anything financial into the relationship, And in the case of like Wendy Williams, she's the talented person. In the case of Mel B, obviously she was more talented. I believe her husband was in the industry. Jill Scott didn't have to pay. Mike Epps was a comedian long, I believe, before he got with his ex-wife. PJ Washington's probably been dribbling the basketball since he was 4 or 5 years old. Went to the University of Kentucky as a ESPN top 50. And then it's like all of his hard work for his entire life. You come in for a little bit of time, maybe a year, 2 years, whatever the case may be, and you're entitled to a lifetime worth of hard work just because you got married. Now the kid changes it, and I do believe she should be entitled to child support. But if they were talking about he was really supposed to be getting $200,000 a month, and he's only making $3 million, yeah, that's crazy because his contract is $3 million before taxes, so he don't even have enough money to pay that anyway, unless that was going to be, $200,000 annually. Because monthly, there's no way, because the numbers don't add up, and I don't even think PJ Washington has any sort of what do you call them? Advertisements. He don't have any. No type of endorsement deal. That's what I wanted to say. So, my girl Tiff says, I can see it for like 6 months to get their life in order for themselves, but forever, or at least sometimes it's till they're 18. Like, let's do the math. If what they said was true, she's going to get $36 million by the time her child turns 18. That's a lot of money to anybody. I don't care who it is. Oh, she said, I mean, spousal, not kid. Yeah, I think spousal support normally works up until the other person is married. But, all those different things could change. But I don't, the spousal support to me is the weird one anyway, because it's like, so, especially from a man perspective, you're telling me I could be rich and getting paid for my ex-wife and out here balling, spending money on other women. As long as I don't marry one of them, then that gravy train's never going to basically run out. That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. But to sum things up, man, what I feel is fair is if I come together, like I told you before, the example of the two teachers, and we go and we say, we're going to go, shout out to Dr. Umar, we're going to go and create our own school, right? And we build a school together. And the school is now worth some sort of money. Let's say it's a private school, so it actually makes money, okay? We build a school together. We're both entitled to the successes and the failures of that school because it was something that we both put into it. If I'm an artist, if it don't even matter if I'm a lawyer, doctor, whatever the case may be, if I didn't even know you when I was in medical school, I'm gonna be like, yo, I was already a successful doctor when you met me. So yeah, once again, I don't have no problem giving you no severance package. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, here's 50 grand, go on about your way. But this constantly, I owe you 30-40% of my earnings until you decide to marry somebody else. Something's got to be done about this, because to me it's not fair, it's not just, and a lot of women out there might disagree with it. But even when it comes to child support is awful if you really think about it, because a lot of times the women, not all, but a lot of times the women who are going after child support, like the men who they're going after, they don't even see their kids. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times it's just women wanting to get some sort of financial compensation for their children, which I do understand. But at the same time, that should come with a relationship with the child. That should come with something, because the children are the ones that are more important than making sure you know that you look fly, that your hair done, your nails done, whatever the case may be. But I think that's what we got to focus on. So that's just how I think should be fair. If you're married, no kids, you leave, hey, if I want to be nice and give you a little money on the way out, that's on me. But it shouldn't be nothing that the judge mandates. If we get a kid, then I believe that I don't need to be put on child support. I should be given the opportunity to take care of my child. And as long as, I'm taking care of my child, child support should never even come into place to begin with. Spousal support, I don't agree with it at all. I can't think of any situation where I think a woman or a man should get paid based on getting upgraded by their partner. Spousal support is one of the most idiotic and dumb things. I don't know who started it, where it ever started. I don't know how it became into be, but I don't agree with spousal support. So this has been the BPB podcast tonight. Make sure tomorrow at 7 p.m. you tune in. I'm doing the as I call it, the Critical Inception Light. So you can tune in for that. That's gonna probably be a little quick, little 30-minute show. I'm going to be talking about the correlation between, like I said, the correlation between energy and power. Basically saying, wherever you put your energy, that's what gives things power. And I'm gonna talk about religion, politics, the media, things like that. So that's going to be a real good show. So you want to make sure you tune in for that tomorrow. Wednesday, Purple Pill will be back. We're going to, like I said, going to be talking about everything dealing with Afghanistan, everything going on with the Joe Biden administration, any new laws, any things they've been passing, some of these bills going on, the infrastructure bill. We're going to kind of go in there and see what they were talking about with that. Thursday, once again, I'm going to have the Pollywood back on, and I'm going to be talking about, the positives and the negatives of having a man that's basically worth a lot of money. Because a lot of times women say they want a man with a lot of money, but then when they get them, I'm not going straight Kevin Samuels. So if you think you're just going to get a Kevin Samuels regurgitation, that's not what you're going to get. Because I believe there are aspects of it that a lot of women don't take into consideration. And I'm not trying to put all men into a box. But what I am saying is, if you have a man that's in the top 0.5% of men, there are going to be some expectations and things that come along with that. So a lot of women, sometimes you might want to adjust your expectations sometimes. So just check that out. And that's going to be Thursday at 7. And Saturday, Kamikaze Show will be back. I'll be talking about the first 2 episodes of What If. And I'm going to tell y'all how I thought about the Suicide Squad. And I'm thinking about maybe trying to put something together if you're in the Atlanta area. I kind of want to, we ain't been out in a while. We've been kind of stuck in the house, man. I want to kind of get people out to maybe do a Marvel night and go see Shang-Chi. I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to kind of see, if some people want to kind of go do that. But that's basically all I've got. If Corey was here, I believe he would tell everybody to have a blessed day on purpose. Once again, the BPB podcast is back. You can find us on all major platforms. If you haven't already, you need to go sign up at libretv.co. Get you a nice little profile over there, because if you haven't been paying attention, every major social media, they cracking down. They cracking down on anything. You don't even have to say something really outlandish these days, but they cracking down on everything. So you want to make sure that you already ready to go over there at Libre TV. Shout out to my boy Chad checking in. Next week, man, we're going to be broadcasting live from Hotep Nation Weekend. We will be in the building, man. Me, the missus, Corey, and his wife will be in the building as well. So we're going to be broadcasting live from Hotep Nation Weekend next week. So y'all be able to check that out, man. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some people maybe to stop through. I don't know where we're going to actually do it yet, but y'all check that out. So we will be doing some things. I'll probably go do some lives on Facebook and Twitter for next week. So we will definitely be in the building. The whole grand plan will be there. But once again, that's all I got, man. So as I always say, it's not about where you started. It's about who you finish with. We've been the BPP podcast. Y'all have a blessed week.